Ezra Miller's Flash was doomed from the start. The studio knew Grant Gustin was better, and still chose chaos. That box office disaster wasn't bad luck. It was karma. Watch until the end, because the proof DC ignored Gustin will leave you speechless. The Flash, 2023, didn't just trip, it crash-landed headfirst into cinematic purgatory. And this wasn't your average underperformance. It wasn't a stumble at the box office. It was a catastrophic nosedive, the kind that leaves the franchise mangled, identity shattered, and hope for resurrection buried beneath the rubble. I wanted to love it, I really did. I walked into the theater hoping to see Barry Allen finally blaze across the screen with the gravitas, the heart, and the respect he deserved. What I got was a film that sprinted with ambition but fumbled its own soul, led by an actor audiences had long since stopped rooting for. And the craziest part? We already had our Barry Allen. For nearly a decade, Grant Gustin was the Flash. Not a placeholder, not a footnote, the Flash. While Ezra Miller was spiraling into headlines that no studio could spin, Gustin was running into our living rooms and anchoring one of television's most heartfelt superhero journeys. When I hear Barry Allen, I don't envision a jittery, socially confused wanderer with awkward pauses and zero chemistry. I see a man of compassion, of purpose, of loss, of love. A man who holds the fate of timelines in one hand and his friends' hands in the other. That's Grant Gustin. 9 seasons, 184 episodes. And not just filler or monster of the week fluff, this man gave us everything. Laughter, heartbreak, that tear-soaked goodbye to his mother that turned viewers into sobbing messes. That's not luck, that's legacy. You don't accidentally build a decade-long connection with fans. Gustin wasn't trying to be quirky. He wasn't dragging a cloud of controversy onto the set. He just showed up and delivered a masterclass in portraying one of DC's most complex icons with reverence and soul. Now let's address the lightning bolt in the room, Ezra Miller. Because we have to. I don't hate Miller's portrayal. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that The Flash might be the best performance they've given in the DCU. The film had flickers of brilliance. The cameos? Solid. Keaton's return as Batman? Electric. But let's not kid ourselves. Miller was never the people's choice. And the real storm was never on screen. Off screen, the turbulence was relentless. In 2020, a video surfaced of Miller allegedly maltreating a woman in Iceland. No legal action followed, but the internet exploded. Then came 2022, an absolute PR apocalypse. 2 arrests in 1 month in Hawaii. One for karaoke-related disorderly conduct, the other for reportedly launching a chair at someone. Yes, a chair. And that was just the beginning. Grooming allegations, burglary, restraining orders, public apologies that felt more like damage control than remorse. The pattern didn't end. It looped like a cursed timeline, controversy after controversy, dragging the Flash brand deeper into the mud. This wasn't just a dent in Miller's public image. It was a full-scale implosion. And the box office receipts proved it. For The Flash to get a sequel, it needed to break $770 million. It barely clawed past $260 million. That's not a box office miss. That's a cinematic obituary. So here's the question. Why not bring in the man who already nailed the role? What exactly are we waiting for? Grant Gustin has the resume, the fan base, the clean slate. He literally met Miller's Flash during the CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths. The multiverse door is wide open. All DC has to do is walk through it. Say he's a Barry from another Earth. Drop him into the reimagined DCU and let him run. It's that simple. No lore breaking. No convoluted setups. Just good storytelling. And yet, what's DC doing with the character? Nothing. James Gunn publicly admitted they're pressing pause on Flash development. Translation: we botched it, and now we're scared to try again. Understandable, but maddening. Batman's already getting a reboot. Superman 2. And Flash? Still stuck in the cosmic waiting room. Still paying for someone else's mistakes. And to anyone suggesting that The Flash just doesn't translate well to live action, let's stop that nonsense right now. It's not the character that failed, it's the execution. Bad movies fail. Strong stories succeed. The CW's Flash series had its clunky moments. Some arcs dipped into melodrama. And yes, Gorilla Grodd will haunt my dreams forever. But even when the writing wobbled, Gustin stood tall. He didn't phone it in. He believed in Barry Allen. And we believed in him. That's why he still trends. That's why, years after the finale, people are still begging for his return. And guess what? Grant Gustin didn't slam the door shut. When asked about stepping into the DCU, his response was clear. If James G. ever called, I'd be in. That's not a maybe. That's an open invitation. He even playfully declined to offer casting suggestions, because let's be real, he probably knows he's the answer. Or maybe he's just being humble. Either way, he's in the game. And James G.? He's dropped more than one breadcrumb. He hasn't just said Gustin's cool. He's openly expressed admiration and interest in working with him. That's not idle talk, that's opportunity knocking. And with the entire DC universe under renovation, with almost every role being recast, this is the moment to strike. Fans aren't just ready. They're starving for redemption, for closure, for a Flash we can believe in again. Miller's chapter is over. The chaos, the scandals, the underwhelming performance, all of it burned to the ground. Now, in this rebuild, DC has a chance to start fresh. The blueprint is there. Gustin fits the mold perfectly. He's available. He's already worn the suit, lived the role, carried the weight. Most importantly, he earned the fans' love. The multiverse has already been canonized. There's no narrative gymnastics needed to bring Gustin into the fold. It would feel right. It would feel like justice. A reward for years of loyalty from fans who stuck by the character through thick and thin. It would be the payoff to a setup that's been quietly waiting for its moment. So why the hesitation? Studios have greenlit far riskier projects on far thinner logic. Gustin isn't a gamble, he's a guaranteed win. Casting him wouldn't just repair brand trust. It would send a signal. This new DCU listens, respects the legacy, and knows how to fix a broken timeline. After a string of cinematic train wrecks, here's the obvious move. Don't flinch. Don't overthink it. Pull the trigger. Because let's face it, Barry Allen deserves better. He's not some comedic sidekick in red spandex. He's one of DC's cornerstone heroes. The man has reset entire timelines, shattered and rebuilt multiverses. He matters. So why not give him the film he's always deserved? Picture this. Gustin returns, not as his Arrowverse Barry, but as a new, more seasoned iteration. Maybe he's been through his own flashpoint. Maybe he's mentoring a young Wally West. Maybe he's older, wiser, bearded even. Still quick as lightning, but carrying deeper scars. Give us grounded emotion, dazzling visuals, and bold storytelling. No cringe humor. No studio meddling. Just heart, speed, and sci-fi chaos at its finest. A redemption arc not just for Barry Allen, but for the Flash's entire cinematic journey. And please, for the love of the Speed Force, no more Nicolas Cage cameos. We haven't healed yet. Grant Gustin isn't just the fan favorite. He's the only choice that makes sense. He knows the character. He's proven he can carry the weight. You don't need to teach him how to run. He's been doing it for 10 years. All DC has to do now is make the call. So here it is, loud and clear. Put Grant Gustin in a Flash movie. Fans are ready. Gustin is ready. The Speed Force is calling. And if DC finally listens, we'll be first in line, just like we were in 2014. Do you think Grant Gustin should have been given the mantle all along? What moment sealed it for you that he was the real Flash? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's talk about the redemption this franchise still deserves. And if you believe DC needs to stop running in circles and finally listen to the fans, hit that subscribe button now.